Hello, my dear children. How are you? I think you all are fit and fine. You are studying well at your home. So, my children, as you know that we have taken the complete chapter of rise of nationalism in Europe previously, and we have discussed very important and interesting topic of unification of Italy, Germany and Britain. Now we are coming to the last of the chapter where it is some very important topics are given in the last, but I will say these are not the least. Why? Because when you are going to study it, you will find how much important these topics are to know the whole world history. So let's take it one by one, and let me tell you what topics I am taking today. These topics are nationalism, imperialism, and Balkan region issue. These all are interrelated. So, what I am telling you today, I am explaining you the feeling of nationalism. Then I am coming to the imperialism as a system, and then I am telling you about the Balkan region issue, how and the story of how they tried to get back their freedom. Before to come to nationalism, I will recall the history that we have read about all country. What was specific about that? That the all the people of the countries, they were dreaming for a nation state. What is the meaning of nation state? I explained you. Nation state means dreaming about a state that where the people are having the same constitution, they are having the same culture, same race, same language. So the people were actually fighting to fulfill their dream, and to get a beautiful nation that is totally united and together. Their people are having the similar feeling, they're having the similar community. So this was nation state, but we are talking about the nationalism. How the nationalism, actually nationalism is a feeling of pride and glory to feel towards your nation. Why this feeling of nationalism was prevailing there in European countries? They dedicated their whole life to get freedom and to make a beautiful constitution for their countries. So when this freedom they achieved, they were dreaming for a nation. They started to think that they started to feel the superiority over their countries, that my country is a superior country. So this feeling was actually the feeling of nationalism. Nationalism is a desire of the people or a group of people or the people of the country willing for the same race, same culture, same language, the same constitution for a nation. So this feeling as it was grown. As I told you, the feeling was very much acceptable by all when we are loving the nation. But when it go wrong, so let me discuss it, how the feeling of nationalism becomes harmful for others. The feeling of nationalism is good when we are respecting our country, we are having proud for our country, when we are working for the betterment of our country. So now we have understood what is nationalism. A feeling of nationalism is when we feel pride and glory for our nation. We want to see our country is having the common language, common culture, common constitution, and a commonality among all the citizens of the country. This feeling is a very beautiful feeling when it is not harming others. Here I am telling the difference between the nationalism and extreme nationalism, जिसको कि हिंदी में कहा जाता है राष्ट्रवाद और अति राष्ट्रवाद. But when you are loving your country and by the force you want to dominate the other countries, thinking that your country is the superior than the other countries, this feeling change from nationalism to extreme nationalism. That is really harmful for the countries. So extreme nationalism is not the part of your chapter, but why I explained you that how this feeling of extreme nationalism developed in many of the European countries, and by this feeling of superiority they started to dominate the countries. So by this only we come to the second term that I told you before to explain, imperialism. Imperialism word comes from the empire, to extend the empire. So what is actually imperialism? The feeling of imperialism actually make the dominating countries, the powerful countries, rich and prosperous countries to dominate the other countries. So now we start to read how this imperialism became harmful for many of the countries who were weak they were not having economic strength. Secondly, they were totally disintegrated. Disintegrated means वो जो बहुत सारी कंट्रीज जो हैं वीक थी इकोनॉमिकली और उनके एंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सिस्टम एंड अकॉर्डिंग टू द administration also they were found weak. In this reference only I want to tell you about this imperialistic system, how it works. When the strong countries, the prosperous countries, they start to dominate the other countries, they work in three ways. It is not the part of your syllabus, but you should know how these imperialistic powers were making the other countries dominated. What were their ways? They were not always using the same rule in the other countries to dominate. They were applying the three ways. These three ways were, they were working direct rule, indirect rule, and then the protectorate rule. How it can be defined? The direct rule, where the imperialistic countries, the European countries, they were trying to dominate the other countries directly. It means when they found the ruler of the particular country is weak in power, then they just capture it and start to rule over them. The second way is the indirect way of ruling. What was this indirect way of ruling? When they were, as we have seen, though it is a later part that we know about India, that when the Britishers came and they made the India as a colony, it was also the imperialistic power that worked in India for a very, very long time. So how they made India a colony? They started their indirect rule in India. How they established the in 1600 they established the East India Company in India, and they appointed their governors in the beginning, and slowly they started to grow their power in India. So this is why I have told you about this, because this clears you about the indirect rule. This is also one of the policy of the imperialistic country to rule over the other countries. And the third was the protectorate. What is protectorate? Means what the imperialistic countries were doing when they found that some country is weak in power, the ruler is weak, and they are not able to secure their country. They started to send the help in the form of money, in the form of army, to save and to give the safety to the king or to the ruler. So we have studied about the feeling of nationalism. Then we read about the imperialism. The topic we are taking, the Balkan region issue. Balkan region issue is why important to read, though it is given in very short in your chapter, but always you will find that this question is asked in the exam. What is the importance of Balkan region issue? Balkan region is actually tells how the Balkan region countries, they fought for their freedom, and ultimately they tried to get their freedom back. Because of the disintegration of the Balkan region countries, how the disintegrated created a lot of disturbance in the whole political situation, in the whole political order, and how one by one many imperialistic country came and ruled over the Balkan countries, and ultimately number of wars were fought, and it led to the series of many wars. Then finally it resulted to First World War 1940. So let's discuss the Balkan region issue. What was it? Before to know about this, it is very much important to know about the geographical situation of Balkan. Balkan was a region that was comprised of many different countries having ethnic culture. So we are also studying about this country's geographical and ethnic variation. The Balkan was the most serious source of nationalist tension in Europe, as it was comprised of many countries like Romania, Bulgaria, Albania, Greece, Macedonia, Bosnia, Herzegovina, Slovenia, Serbia, and Montenegro. So many names I have read. So you can find this area was comprised of many countries with their own ethnic culture. They are having different caste, creed, race, and their own language. What happened with this Balkan issue? It became a prey of firstly of Ottoman Empire, and then how it was ruled by the European countries. So first, let me take the how the Balkan countries for a long time they were under the power of Ottoman Empire. What was Ottoman Empire? Ottoman Empire was a state that was covering a big area of Southeast Europe, then Africa, and it was a big empire, and it was also dominating the countries. So for a very long time, if we will know the history of Balkan region, it was a big part, means many of the countries that was coming under the Balkan region were the part of Ottoman Empire. For a very long time they were under the clutch of Ottoman Empire. But what happened, because of the very suitable situation of these countries, the always it was attracted the mind of European countries, imperialistic countries, to get over them. The same happened as the Ottoman Empire. After some time, the power of Ottoman Empire grew weaker, and as it became weak, then many of the countries became free from its clutch. As they became free from their clutch, there was a total disintegration found in Balkan region. Why? Because all countries started to declare them as a independent state. They started to use their own culture, and they started to make their own development. Ultimately, these all things resulted a total conflict in the country. So previously, some of the countries that was under the Ottoman Empire, and then one more power that started to overrule them, that was started to control them, that was the power of imperialistic countries. So how this domination started? As the strategic condition of Balkan, making many other imperialistic countries to come and to dominate them by their power. Already the Balkan region, some of the countries, a big part of the area was under the under the Ottoman Empire, and then when the imperialistic countries started to control them, then there was a big conflict, and all the countries were fighting each other because their power was totally divided, and ultimately a big disintegration was found there. So it was very much pathetic for Balkan, and ultimately the whole country was suffering because of the domination of these imperialistic countries. तो ये आपका एक छोटा सा टॉपिक है बाल्कान इशू, जो कि बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली व्हेन दीज ऑल countries came into fight, all imperialist countries started to fight for getting the power over Balkan, then what happened? It was resulted a big series of war, and ultimately it was ended with the First World War 1914, which was started and ended. The First World started 1914. It was the whole story of actually the power of imperialistic country that was increasing and trying to dominate the weaker countries, and it was ended in 1919. तो ये आपका बाल्कान रीजन का इशू है, जो कि बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू में. यू शुड प्रिपेयर इट वेल. So in 19th century, the anti-imperialistic movements started rapidly, and they came with an ideology that all countries have the right to dream for the nation state, but imperialistic powers domination should be ended. So this is the end of the chapter Rise of Nationalism in Europe. After that, one more video I am bringing to you, in which we are discussing about, it will be a nutshell, because we are discussing once again about all dates, all important events, all treaties, and then we are discussing some of the topics which were important but somewhere it is not discussed, and the questions which are very much important for the examination point of view. This is the beginning of the session. The session is not started now, but when you are studying it in the time of exam, it is going to be very much useful to you. So I think this is enough for today. Thank you.